Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a cozy little corner of the internet. I'm Pen and today I'm going to be reading Chapter 5 of The Life We Could Have Lived, This Life Is Made For Us by Zena Lemon. Chapter 5 is called Dear Random Guy, Fuck You. This chapter is pretty good, but there is a little bit of homophobia and just slurs a couple of times, but I will be censoring it with the word fig tree, as in figs as in the fruit. Yeah, I guess you know which one I'm going to be censoring. But anyway, make sure to take care of yourself. If it does trigger you, make sure to just skip this. Nothing too much happens. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy. And let's get right into this. Chapter 5. Chia sat on the uncomfortable metal benches in the gym, watching as students, mostly first-year students, followed in. The ones that looked to be more his age would mostly wave or greet him before sitting down. Chia appreciated the gesture. He liked their friendliness, helping calm his nerves. This, however, only made how a small group of boys didn't greet him stand out. It wasn't like they didn't say hi or anything, or even wave. They looked almost disgusted by him, snickering to themselves as they walked past. Chia furrowed his brows in confusion before hearing his name, looking up to see his fellow redhead Tachihara. "Chuya!" the boy calls him as he notices him, running over and sitting down beside him. "How you been?" He starts off with a friendly smile. Chuya nods, a small smile on his face as well. "Fine." Chuya listens to Tachihara as Tachihara starts telling him about the stuff he did over the break, mentioning outings with multiple friends such as Gin and, strangely, the hunting dogs. The boys talk more as people fill up the gym. There wasn't a lot, maybe about 30 people, most of them sitting on the benches. Finally, right before the bell rings, Hirotsu enters the gym, looking more tired than ever. He wore a brown polo shirt tucked into a pair of black pants. His signature monocle was gone, but judging by the smell, his smoking habits were not. As the bell rings, he pulls out a clipboard and starts calling out names. The gym was mostly silent, only a small mumble spread throughout the room as people talk in a whisper. Chuya notices how that group of boys from earlier slowly grows louder, their laughs and comments becoming more and more hard to ignore. Chuya gets annoyed by the disrespect to Hirotsu and would love to give them an earful before he suddenly notices how the boys' eyes are on him. They snicker to each other as Chuya makes eye contact with one of them, whose friends then seem to laugh even more. "Oh my god, he's looking at you, look away," before he turns you into a fig tree, one of them says as in a faked worried voice, as the others laughing at his joke. The room goes rather silent, everyone's attention being brought to the literal slurs thrown at Chuya. Yet no one looks surprised. He can feel the eyes on his back, as if there's a spotlight on him, waiting to see what he'll do next. "We do not tolerate any of that language in this class," Hirotsu sternly reprimands the student, putting his clipboard down. But the boy didn't seem to care as much as he continued his taunt, knowing full well that Chuya was listening now. "I'm just worried that me and my friend's health. We don't want to get infected with that disease. I mean, we have to change in the same locker room as him. I don't want him looking at me." A few of the boys snicker as none of them seem to be sincerely concerned about anything of the sort. "You should make him change you in the stalls," one of the other boys jeers. Hirotsu, obviously not standing for this kind of behaviour, tries to shut them down before Chuya speaks up. "There isn't much to look at if that's what you're worried about. If anything, you should be changing in the stalls. It saves us from having to look at your ogre-looking ass." A couple of the students ooh at the response as the guy scowls. "Plus, I'm taken, dumbass," Chuya finishes off, before glaring at the guy. It felt weird to say that out loud, but maybe his situation with the mackerel was actually good for something. In fact, it didn't seem that bad at all. Ew, did I seriously just think that? "Yeah, taken, sure," the boy glares back, not sounding convinced at all. We all know it's a lie, but hey, I'm not surprised you're trying to salvage the only chances of a relationship you'll ever have. Darzo's probably not even gay or bi or whatever he calls it. We all know he just took pity on your gay sorry ass because they would date a fig tree like you. Enough. Hiratsu cuts him off with a booming voice. Chuya personally never knew he could yell like that. This is a terrible way to start the year. Hiratsu pinches his nose as he sighs, trying to calm himself as the anger is still evident on his face. You, he points to the boy, go to office right now. The boy protestingly looks around, but now. Hiratsu cuts him off again. The boy scowls before getting up, not without glaring at Chuya, and finally leaves the gym. The tension is so thick that you can cut it with a knife, and Chuya feels like he's going to choke. Of course that dick had to mention Dazai, and some comment about how their relationship is fake. People love to doubt them, and it would be a lie to say that Chuya hasn't either. Chuya had always felt not human. Being a vessel of a literal god was already dehumanizing, and that's not even mentioning the experience of learning that your existence was based on a string of codes. So waking up with no evidence of either was one of the best things that could happen to Chuya. And yet he can't escape isolation because you don't have the choice to leave the norm if society has already taken you out of it. Yes, Chuya is gay. Whoa, he likes boys, shocker. Can we move on with our lives? One of the advantages of being a feared mafia executive was that all you needed to do was enter a room and no one would even dare say a thing. Most people wouldn't even think discriminately based on that. Not that many knew or cared about Chuya's sexuality. That there was a lot more to him than him just being gay, and why be hated when you can be feared. Yep, Chuya didn't want to be feared. He didn't want to be a monster. But if you have a shield, you're not going to drop it when arrows come flying at you. All that goes to say, Chuya isn't doing very well. Whether he wants to address the situation, it is a complicated situation. Everything is already on the table, but Chuya can't stand to look at a puzzle until he's completed it himself. Having someone else do it for him is no good. And yet, sometimes it does bring a little comfort. And yet sometimes it does bring a little comfort when a bandaged someone gives him affirmation of his humanity, even if it's in the form of a backhanded compliment. They like to hide their worry behind indifference, their love behind hate, but Chuya can sense the care behind each perfectly crafted word, and because that's what partners do. The boys are now quiet now, the awkward air around them as they seem to be avoiding Chuya's gaze. Hiratsu tries to get back on topic, continuing to take attendance. Are you okay? Tachihara whispers worryingly to Chuya. That guy was a dick. Chuya quietly chuckles at the remark. Yeah, he responds to the question and statement. I'm okay. That was a lie. Dazai's second period went as smoothly as it could, despite his maintained cool. There was still a strange tinge he kept getting as he sat in the plastic and metal chair. Every now and then, he would feel all his emotions damper again, accompanied by the strange yet not unfamiliar of an unfamiliar yet omnipotent presence. Jeez, my English is not working today, sorry. Where was it coming from? He couldn't place it, but it was definitely noticeable. Poe and Nikolai introduced themselves to any new students and started going over what the year would would look like content-wise, with a simple presentation projected onto the stage. Once they had finished going through the slideshow, they sent the class off to talk and get to know each other during the last few minutes of class. Poe immediately retreated back to his desk and picked up some kind of novel, slumping his lanky frame into the chair. On the contrary, Nikolai walked around the classroom, talking one-on-one with students until he reached back to where Darzai was seated. "Great to see you in class again, Darzai," he greets with a cheery tone. "How's your summer been?" "Fine," Darzai gives a safe answer. "What kind of classes are you going to take this year?" Nikolai claps his hands together. "You never fail to amaze me with your elective choices. Come on, let's hear it." He inches closer, eyes round like a cat that saw its favourite toy. He suddenly sticks his hands out in front of him. Wait, let me guess. "Never loses energy, huh?" Darzai chuckles softly, watching Nikolai go over the potential schedule choices. "Was it a sport?" he asks before cutting himself off. "Wait, no, you don't do the super active stuff." "Is it a language?" Darzai nods as Nikolai gets visibly more excited. He always loved games. "Are you taking Latin too? Maybe German?" Darzai shakes his head as Nikolai sulks slightly before his eyes light up again. "What about Russian?" he asks expectantly. "Bingo!" Darzai exclaims, pointing his fingers with a smile. Nikolai claps himself victoriously. "You're taking Fidia's class." Fidia's class, nickname for Theodore. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because my English is not working. He states happily before pausing. "Wait, what's the other?" I have to do my health credit I have to get my health credit in before I graduate." Darzai reminds him as if he hadn't learned about all this morning. In a very quick skim of the student handbook, Darzai reminds him as if he hadn't learnt about it all this morning. A very quick skim of the student handbook came in handy. Luckily, it's only a semester, and I'll have study hall after it. "Oh, not taking double languages again?" Nikolai brings up a past memory that only he remembers. Of course, he doesn't know that. "Nope," Darzai responds, popping the P. "Well, I'm very excited to see how you perform this year. I swear you always seem to slip into roles like it's simply a mask you're putting on." Nikolai chuckles. And that hit a little bit too close to home. The bell chimes as the sound of students shuffling with their bags immediately comes to a roar. Darzai doing the same thing. Of course, Darzai doesn't miss the dampering feeling again as a seemingly typical girl walked past him. Darzai walked throughout the crowded hall, finding his way to the next class. It was probably a coincidence that the girl was going in the same direction as him, but for reasons unknown to him, her presence brought forth that feeling again, that strange yet familiar feeling, the feeling he's hated while not being able to feel his entire life, the feeling of no longer human. Entering his economics class, Darzai's gaze settles upon the detective agency's president turned teacher, Fukazawa, sitting at his desk, drinking what looks like to be some sort of tea. As he converses with the other teacher occupying the room, though it's more like a one-way conversation as Fukazawa sits there listening to the other ramble. Rumpo is sitting on one of the empty student desks, never losing his childlike attitude as he kicks his legs back and forth. He's wearing a white button-down, blue tie, black vest, and brown trousers. His attire very similar to the Rumpo Darzai knows, missing the hat and cloak-like jacket, reducing his stereotypical detective outfit into that of an eccentric English teacher. On the other hand, Fukazawa keeps it simple but classy, sporting an all-black suit. Guess I gotta be heading out now. Rumpo notices the students entering the room. Hopping off of the desk, he quickly makes his way to the door, passing Darzai. Darzai leans a little over to the side Dazai leans over a little to the side the last second as their arms brush against each other. A familiar feeling coursing through his body. There it is. Rampo pauses as he looks down at Dazai with a stunned expression before smirking knowingly. You look younger. Okay, everyone, that was chapter 5 of The Life We Could Have Lived, This Life Was Made For Us. I really love this fic and it's really good. If you have any fic recommendations, let me know down in the comments because I'm starting to run out of fics. Well, not really. Hang on, let me check. I have 6 fics I'm reading for YouTube, and then I got another 9 that I'm reading for fun. So anyway, but yeah, anything you really want me to do, as long as it's anime based and I know the fandom, I'll look over. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to take care of yourself. Yes, make sure to eat, drink, and sleep. I'm talking about you. And anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.